Brain research is truly a remarkable field that delves into the intricacies of human physiology and the essence of our identity. As a brain researcher, I believe I have the most interesting job in the world. The knowledge about the brain is rapidly evolving, and many of our previous assumptions have proven to be incorrect or incomplete. For instance, we used to believe that the brain stopped changing after childhood, but it turns out that neuroplasticity allows for continuous changes throughout life. Even during moments of rest or idleness, the brain remains highly active, contrary to the misconception that we only use specific parts of it at any given time. Technological advancements like MRI have played a significant role in uncovering these discoveries. However, the most transformative finding is that every time we learn something new or acquire a new skill, our brains undergo changes. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, was largely unknown just 25 years ago. If you are new in my channel, please subscribe and hit like. We used to think that brain changes were predominantly negative, such as the loss of brain cells or damage caused by strokes. But research has shown that all our behaviors, regardless of age, have the potential to reshape our brains. This is undoubtedly good news, as it means we have the ability to learn and adapt throughout our lives, and these changes even support recovery after brain damage. Neuroplasticity manifests in three primary ways to facilitate learning. First, there are chemical changes that involve the transmission of signals between neurons in the brain. Increasing the concentration of these chemical signals supports short-term memory and the temporary improvement of motor skills. Second, the brain can alter its structure by changing the connections between neurons. This process takes more time and is associated with long-term memory and skill improvement. These structural changes can also lead to the integration of brain regions that work together to support learning or the enlargement of specific regions relevant to certain behaviors. Lastly, the brain can change its function by becoming more excitable and altering when and how brain regions are activated. Learning triggers shifts in whole networks of brain activity, resulting in functional changes that contribute to neuroplasticity. It's important to note that these changes often occur in conjunction with chemical and structural changes, supporting the learning process. Neuroplasticity is a continuous and pervasive phenomenon happening across the entire brain. Given the immense plasticity of our brains, one might wonder why we can't learn anything effortlessly, or why some individuals struggle in school, or why memory tends to decline with age. The answer lies in the factors that influence and facilitate neuroplasticity. This is precisely what I study, particularly in the context of stroke recovery. Although the number of stroke-related deaths has decreased, stroke remains the leading cause of long-term disability in adults globally. Unfortunately, effective rehabilitation interventions are still lacking. To address this, my research focuses on developing therapies that prime the brain for learning. These interventions involve brain stimulation, exercise, and robotics. However, a major hurdle in stroke recovery is the high variability of neuroplasticity patterns among individuals. While this variability can be frustrating for researchers, it provides valuable insights. Studying this variability has led me to realize that the most informative data we collect shows how each individual's brain responds to different interventions. Two critical lessons have emerged from studying the brain and neuroplasticity. Firstly, the most powerful driver of change is behavior. No neuroplasticity drug exists that can match the effectiveness of practice and learning. Effort, struggle, and increased difficulty during practice actually enhance learning and result in greater structural changes in the brain. However, it's important to recognize that neuroplasticity can work both positively and negatively, depending on the behaviors and habits we engage in. Secondly, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to learning. The notion that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to master a skill is an oversimplification. Each of our brains is uniquely shaped, making personalized interventions crucial. This concept, derived from personalized medicine, matches specific therapies to individual patients based on brain structure and function biomarkers. Combining different biomarkers can predict neuroplastic changes and patterns of recovery after stroke. This personalized approach can be applied not only to stroke recovery but also to general learning and teaching situations. When you reflect on the information I've shared, you'll realize that your brain has changed throughout this speech. Each person's brain will have undergone unique changes. Understanding these differences, individual patterns, and variability will drive the next breakthroughs in neuroscience. It will lead to the development of more effective interventions and enable matches between learners and teachers, patients and therapies. This concept extends beyond stroke recovery. It applies to all of us as parents, teachers, managers, and lifelong learners. Take the time to study and understand how you learn best. Repeat behaviors that promote brain health and break those that don't. Remember that learning requires work, and the most effective strategies will differ between individuals and even within individuals across various domains. Embrace the magnificence of your plastic brain, knowing that everything you do, encounter, and experience is constantly reshaping it. Choose to build the brain you desire and harness the power of neuroplasticity. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you leave with a newfound appreciation for your remarkable brain.